Hey Purple, this is the third mini VoD review bite-sized deal for focusing on our dive compositions that we ran on Busan. So this is immediately following the initiation attempt by Maze's Pulse Bomb. We're going to see that at the break of this fight, Maze is dueling with the Doomfist in the backline here, running it at half speed. So now Maze has the Doomfist distracted. He used a cooldown. He's relatively committed to this fight. You can stay safe there. It's not a particularly risky fight for a Tracer. And Doomfist is one of the more dangerous, albeit one of the more fragile targets on the enemy team. So that's a 1-for-1. Maze is taking the focus off of your team. So it's not the flashiest, but that's doing the job of the Tracer, just causing distraction, making sure that the enemy team can't just engage you at full strength. So now we have the setup in here by this drum, which is good. You've got high ground. You've got an excellent perch here for your Ana, which Ana will set up in shortly. And so we've got the nano boost combination. Actually, hold on, let me. There we go. Okay, there's our Ana. Sometimes the character models go invisible when you pause. So we've got the initiation with Nanoblade, which is good, especially knowing that they've got a lot of ults, and this is a combination that's either going to get value or burn their ults. They don't have a lot of stuns. They really actually have Lucio Boop, Diva Boop, and Doomfist is out of this equation entirely. So this is a great ult combo to use against their team comp specifically, and so we're going for it here. Will takes a lot of damage on the entrance, but that's absolutely all right because he's about to get healed by the nano. So I'm going to take this angle. You can see that they've got those balls are duplicates. They've got most of their team meeting you at the stairs here. So let's see what happens. Will gets healed by the nano, goes in. They use the sound barrier, but Will gets the kill Will gets the kill first off. And we get the DMEC on the Diva, although the Diva is back in. Okay, so that was a really successful initiation, given that they used 2 support ults there. And I'm actually not sure how the Diva died, or the Diva got DMEC'd. I want to see that again real quick. So Genji went in. You guys, okay? She used bomb to zone you out. Okay. It's a good job of not being caught by the bomb. Everyone's still at relatively high health. Maze is it seemed like got a little bit low dueling the Doomfist, but so a bunch of ults have been used. You got a kill. You didn't die to the Diva bomb. You're in a good position. Now the key thing is that they layer both support ults, and with your composition, there's 2 things to think about when these ults come out. One specifically, the Moira coalescence that happens here. When Will dives back in, it gives the opportunity here for the Moira to use coalescence and just deal a lot of damage on a lot of people. Right? You guys are all kind of lined up. You're going for this target, which is good. Target prioritization is good. This is actually really good target priority focus on the Diva because you know she's not in mech. You don't get her before she mechs, but the focus is there, and that's good. Unfortunately, with Coalescence right now, it gives the Moira a lot of value, and you don't have the strongest heals at a team level like you would with a rush comp and like a double shield comp with Baptiste or something like that. So Moira can get a lot of value from this. The second more general point is that they've just layered both support ultimates. And when that happens, even if you have Nano Blade up, even if you've already used an ultimate or 2, if the enemy team layers both support ultimates, that is a massive overcommitment on their part that is almost never necessary to win a fight. And generally, when support ults are used, this actually, it depends. It depends. It can be, there's obviously like different pairings like Nano Boost and Window. Aren't quite. Doesn't have quite the same defensive setup as a sound barrier and a transcendence or something like that. But here they use coalescence and they use sound barrier, so they have lots of heals. They're going to basically be unkillable for the next 5-6 seconds. which is your signal as a team to get the hell out of dodge. Wait out the coalescence, wait out the sound barrier. Really, the sound barrier is the more important one to wait out, because as long as you're not all together, the coalescence might hit one person. But yeah, when you see double support ult, when you see enemy support ults layered like this, especially with this composition, your instinct should be to split. I say especially with this composition. What I mean is with this composition, you all have really high mobility. Winston has leap, although we really expended it. Genji has dash, but he's got a wall here for cover. Lucio can just leave whenever. We've got Heesung on point, also has cover from that. It differs between compositions, right? If you're in a brawl composition, what you're probably going to do is you're probably going to want your Lucio to speed you away. If you're in a dive composition like this, you're going to want to use your individual abilities to just peel out and just go. I'm going to try to use my epic pen for the first time here. Just like split off into different directions and just like, the Ana can, the Lucio can go over here. The tracer safe, letting those just like wear away and sustaining and not dying are going to be your keys to winning this fight, even though you're shorthanded, because you already got value with the nanoblade. Before the beat dropped, you killed the soldier, and that's going to give you a really nice advantage. So, unfortunately, our Wavika goes in a little bit, and there is it gets picked off, which is especially unfortunate given that she has sound barrier. We initiate a little hard onto point, and right now it's a 5v5, but Seaweed's Heesung's a little bit low. Aroma is on point. They just kind of they still have their coalescence up, and because their whole team is right there, she's getting 3 people at once. It's going to be hard to focus anyone down. Delaying the initiation there, spreading out before making the call to come back in is going to be your best bet here. Maze returns. So the D.Va bomb here isn't a bad investment. It forces them to use abilities. Unfortunately, Heesung gets focused down before the bomb goes off, and I'm not sure what Heesung's cooldowns are. Let me go to F9. Let's back this up just a scooch. Okay. Unfortunately, boost was, not quite up. That was a weird Winston-like thing. Boost wasn't quite up. Obviously, you'd want to boost upwards or do a little jig pattern. Get yourself so that you can get onto that high ground or onto a more onto that high ground right there, or into a safer place before you go. Before you use your ult. Obviously, you couldn't do that here. Unfortunate. This was a big biotic grenade right here. The Doomfist really should die. The Doomfist does die. It's great. They have to use bubble. And now you've got your low and, unfortunately, the focus fire. If Heesung stays alive there, you guys have a much better chance to swing this fight. So the primal commitment here, the question I have about the primal commitment is, what does it accomplish other than sounding a little scary? Does it help you kill the Moira? If the Moira already faded, then maybe that actually is a good play. If you don't currently have jump up and you're like, if I kill her, we can just focus these guys down. But really, your only viable target here is Moira, and she's really just hanging around with the tanks. I think you could have just as easily just shot at her with with your primary fire instead of you used ult, but I don't think there was any real pressure to use that ult other than saying that there's a lot of ults being invested. I really, really want to win this fight, but without having a target for that ult or like a specific plan for it, it just kind of ends up being used without a ton of specific intent. Although what it does do is their Winston does pop primal in return, which is a good trade. This was a fight that was difficult but winnable, especially given how it began. And at the end of the day, you did end up making them invest more ults than you did to win that team fight. So that is definitely a good thing to look out for. Using that nanoblade combat to initiate definitely pressured them out really heavily. But it was a winnable fight. And there was one more thing that I wanted to cover right here, which was, I think if we go back about 20 seconds. So Dylan did, I believe Officer Down is Dylan. No, Officer Down is fuck, I forget whose account Officer Down is. But this position right here is really not where you want to be as Ana, just given how exposed you are. The soldier's going to ult from the high ground. Any of their tanks could just rotate around it and get to you. Having her Ana here, which Ana was here at the beginning of the fight, and saying, this is one of the most important parts of Dive, is saying, like, okay, if we're going to run an Ana, this is our sight line. This is our sight line, or maybe we decide that this is our sight line, or if we go through the front, we decide that, this is going to be our sight line. But wherever the Ana is capable of healing from at a safe angle, needs to be communicated to the team beforehand. Just because if you can have, if you can aggress onto them, but make sure that but have a line of sight that you can consistently go back to for safe healing. Even if it takes a little bit longer to kill people, even if you can't engage as readily, you're going to be able to get more healing. You're not going to put yourself in as much danger. Your DPS are going to be able to have more value, because when they get chipped down, they're not going to have to go search for a health pack, or they're not going to be worried that a random bit of damage is going to kill them and help swing the fight. So staying on that high ground, staying in the line of sight for longer, and trusting our tanks and our DPS to maintain that line of sight that we're capable of supporting from a long distance is going to be one of the ways to win with Dive. Okay, that is the last bite-sized VoD review for this map, for this sub map. So thank you guys for watching.